Well, hello everybody. It's Grandmaster Shaman here. I know the lighting's absolutely horrendous, but I don't really have much option as to what I can do. Of course, again, y'all can change that. If you want to see more content and you want to see better quality content with lighting and actual decent video editing, then all you got to do is like, subscribe, and watch some videos. Enjoy yourselves. But I decided to make this video a little bit because my hobby being writing, I just decided to sit down and talk about the book that I have tried to write about 17 billion times or something like that, and failed so far. I've gotten over 100,000 words probably twice, and I just kind of trash it because I have this problem where I think that everything is absolutely stupid long after it's probably way too late to think it's absolutely stupid. Um, yeah, I. So this in particular story I've tried a number of times. Um, Main character Lucia had is from an undisclosed period of time. We've had her most of the time come from around the 1400s, somewhere around the 1400s, and other times we've had her come from the future, like around 2900 or something. And man, my face has a huge shadow. Man, not much I can do about the lighting though. But so either or, coming from one of those two time periods. A number of times she's come from the past. She has a tragic backstory that when she was 5 years old, her parents were murdered by these people in black outfits, and it turned out that they were this organization called HERO, the Human Emancipation and Restoration Organization, which are from the future, around the year 2900s, and basically she sets out on a quest to try and stop them as they try and disrupt the past. And then eventually, either after 3 books or at the very beginning, and then we get flashbacks as she begins to remember things from the past, she, goes to the future and has to stop them after they've already taken over a third of the world. And so that's basically what the story has been about. And well, I don't have like a lot of viewers on this channel. I don't really expect to get a lot of viewers on this channel. Of course, again, y'all can change that. It's completely out of my hands. But this in particular book, I'm interested to see on what people think about it. Even if it's just 1, 2, or 3 opinions, I would like to hear what you guys think about that in particular story. But moving on, so Lucia has a number of friends. She's got JoJo, she's got Megan, she's got Amy, she's got Heath, and yeah, I believe, no, there's one more. Off the top of my head, I can't think of him. It's him, right? Damn. Oh, Sapphire. That's it. So Sapphire. So the 5 friends of Lucia play somewhat of a major role in this story, obviously because they're her companions, they're her friends. But so they're most of the time they've come from the past as well. They're usually friends from that time period. Only one time have I had them come from the future and Lucia from the past, and she kind of meets them and they kind of develop as characters, which was failed miserably, but so did everything else, in my opinion. So that's kind of what it's about. So our organization called HERO is led by a group of supernatural beings called sorcerers who have been sorcerers and sorceresses who have been around since essentially the beginning of mankind. No idea. They have no idea how they've been created. They don't know whether it was from some omnipotent being. They just kind of, boom, came into existence. And they came into existence at the exact same time as this other group of supernatural beings called the Sorcerers. The Guardians. Sorcerers and Sorceresses are the bad guys. Guardians are considered the good guys. Obviously, this is kind of one of those interesting books where you don't really know morally where people should stand. Because I'm trying to make the moral line really grayed out. So Lucia and her friends are basically recruited by the Guardians to stop the sorcerers and sorceresses from essentially not only taking over the world, but eradicating the humanity of mankind. Because the sorcerers and sorceresses, they're trying to basically create a quote-unquote perfect world where basically there are no choices. You don't make any choices. Everything is already made for you. They basically have complete control over what people think, what they say, what they do. Nobody is allowed to speak out against the sorcerers and sorceresses, and in the area that they own, that is the case. Basically, everybody thinks that the sorcerers and sorceresses are the greatest thing ever, but in reality, they've had their minds changed to think that. Even though they do absolutely terrible things to people. I mean, people legit die with a smile because they think this is the right thing to do and that dying is exactly what they deserve. So, basically, Lucia and her friends have to stop them from essentially taking over the world. And they get there just in time, too, because the second half of the Great Imperial War is about to begin. The first half essentially left the world with only a few nations left. You have the American Empire, which owns both North and South America. You've got the Chinese Empire, which pretty much has all of Asia at this point. You've got the British Empire, which has the entirety of Europe except for France, who survived. And then you've got Japan and Australia also surviving. Japan only survived because of a tsunami that wiped out a lot of Chinese forces when they were trying to invade. And for Africa, you've got the United African Alliance, which is the last standing unified alliance of countries. So several countries remaining. And then you've got the Egyptian Empire, which owns all of northern Africa. So you've got this ravaged world where there's only a few nations left, and Lucia basically shows up just in time for this great war to continue as the American Empire begins by invading Australia. And, well, as far as the story goes, there's going to be a lot of craziness because the first part is mostly about introducing characters and introducing the overall theme. Because I'm trying to make it a somewhat long novel, I'm aiming for each chapter to be between 3,000 and 4,000 words. So, by about 3,000 words a chapter with 50 chapters is 150,000 words, which is probably around where I want it to be. So that's kind of the aim. I don't know if that's too high or too low, but that's kind of where I had aimed for a lot of the time. And as far as characters go, it's been a pretty easy time developing characters. Naming characters, on the other hand, is rather difficult, if you can believe it or not. I have a hard time because I'm like, oh man, this guy should be named Richard. And then I look at kind of these character designs that I put together. Essentially, like I line each character up with not one, but several characters from mostly anime. that I believe looked sort of kind of like him. And then I just kind of look at it and go, that's not a Richard. It's a, it's a, it's a, and then, it just kind of carries on for a while. So, and most of the names that I've had, most like the main character's name came from a club meeting. I co-founded a writing club in my senior year of high school, and the writing club decided on that name. The other characters came from my very first ever written novel. I legit wrote it, handwritten novel back in like eighth grade. Yeah, eighth grade. The first time I ever actually wrote a novel, and those were the characters that were involved in it. And so those character names kind of came over, but they look nothing like they used to. Most of their personalities are completely different. In fact, most of their personalities change book by book, not just throughout the entire thing. For instance, Megan is absolutely off the wall with how much she changes. Like, she started off as this really shy, but really powerful person who had great fighting skills, but was really shy and didn't really talk much, to now she is the most flamboyant goddamn person I have ever written in any of my books. She's taken over an entire kingdom just because she felt like it. So it's been absolutely off the chain writing about Megan. And let me tell you this. One of the biggest things, characters do what they want. I don't choose what the characters do, they choose what the characters do, and that's really interesting. Like, you might not know what I'm talking about until you actually write. Like, when you start writing, and if you're forcing them to do something that you want them to, it's not going to turn out well. It's going to turn out choppy, it's going to turn out like they really did not want to do this, but you kind of forced them into this situation, and you forced them to think things. So what you do is you get it fluidity by letting them do what they need to, and it sucks sometimes because you can write out this entire plan for days, and next page, boom, something crazy happens that ruins the entire thing. So it happened with Megan. Took out her entire kingdom just because she wanted to. Crazy, but it works. So that's all the time we have for this little mini vlog. You can ask me about other books that I've written if you'd like. Again, you use the hashtag Q&A in the comment section below if you've got any questions for me. That way I can answer them. Or at this point, since I don't have many viewers, you could probably just ask me something. But seriously, this is all we got. Like, subscribe. Show it to other people. Love to hear other people who write what they think. I want to have something for everybody on this channel. As much diverse content as I possibly can. I hate just sitting here. I would spend like all this time editing and doing crazy stuff with my videos, but I can't because I can't buy a video editor that actually allows me to do anything really creative. So, but until that time, thanks everybody for watching this video. I might actually end up posting another video today. Stay tuned. Stay tuned to my channel because who knows.